I was mine inspector for 13 years, and I worked underground for another 13 years in an underground mine. So I've seen both sides. Underground mining is it don't disturb, you know, nothing like this does. It's of course all the stuff is underground out of sight, but again, it's not nearly as well. It's not as nowhere. It just don't destroy it like this does. We've been on those sites and can't even find a bug in that refuse. Not even a worm or anything. It's just waste, total waste. It's nothing but rock. It's nothing but refuse. It's just crushed stone, blasted up stone that they grade over. Like I say, they destroyed the topsoil when they blasted it the first time, and there's nothing there but just the dirt and soil that is in that winds up is sealed in our streams and rivers because it washes out. It's just like a gravel, you know. It'll let water filter through it. It washes all the dirt and everything out, and that's basically what it is. It just washes what dirt and soil that is in it washes out into our streams and rivers and fills them up with silt, mud. The stream below my house there, where I trapped minnows in that stream for, I guess, 25 years to fish. And there's not any minnows in it right now. No minnows, no crawfish, nothing. The Callahan Creek is dead. And the Division of Mines actually got before the hearings, when they had the hearings on it, you know, about the granting the permits up in the hollow there where Pete lives, that, you know, the Callahan Creek's dead anyway. It's been killed from previous mining, so it don't matter that we issue another 15, 20 permits up there because the creek's dead anyhow, so it ain't going to hurt it. It's already dead. Rather than say, you know, we'll put life back into that creek and restore that creek to what it once was, or that little stream, you know, to hell with it. It's dead already, so we'll just go ahead and issue 18 permits that's in those mountains right now. That's what we're up against, you know, as far as our regulatory people. If you file a complaint against the Division of Mines with the state, you have to file it through the Attorney General's office. The Attorney General's office defends them. So, you know, you file a complaint against the Division of Mines with the Attorney General's office, they'll tell you, well, we're going to defend them against you. So, you know, where are you going to go? Well, when I was a roof control specialist, I worked as a roof control underground. I was a roof control specialist for a while, and the other roof control specialists were saying, you know, that I was making them look bad by writing so many violations. You know, I was making them look bad, and I said, well, maybe your mines that you got are in better shape than mine, you know, or whatever. But if a man's got a job, he ought to do it. In my opinion, he ought to do it as best he can to the letter of the law, especially in mining, because there's just so much potential for disaster that it should be done as strict as possible. That they would do it is one thing, but to hold their hand while they do it with our agencies and let them do it is another. For a man to want to do, you know, a man will get all he can get. He's greedy anyway, but for an agency to stand by and hold his hand while he does it and fight the people against him to let him do it is what's beyond me. I just don't understand. And coal operators are like that. They're just greedy people. I've had them tell me when I was inspecting, I'm not going to do anything that you don't make me do. If you don't make me do it, I ain't doing it. And traveling underground in those old works, you know, the back areas of the mines that mined out, they'd say, well, I'm not going back there. You're going, so why should I go? You're going to ride everything you find anyway, so it's just the way they are. Laws, you can have all the laws in the world against something, but if they're not enforcing them and you can't get them enforced, and, you know, you're just beating a dead horse. I mean, you can have laws against, just like I say, Virginia don't have mountaintop removal. We have, you know, you have to put it back to its original contour. You have to replant 600 trees per acre, but you don't see any trees on what's behind us there. You don't see any contour. Those mountains were steep. Those mountains were on an angle like this here, and they've been reduced to nothing. Just flat wasteland. And all the laws are good if you enforce them, but if you don't enforce them, it's just wasted. It's just, you know, it's on the books, but nobody enforces it. Just like overloaded trucks. State police could assign a guy to a dump site wherever they haul their coal to. All he'd have to do is sit there at the scale house, write up every truck that comes in because they're all overloaded, but they don't do it. But you're not supposed to have overloaded trucks on the highway, Virginia's highway, so. But they don't enforce it. People that live in these mountains are here because they love these mountains and they want to live here, and their families prior to them have lived here. Generations have lived here, and they just don't want to. There's nobody wants to see it destroyed like it's being destroyed right now. I don't think anybody you talk to will say they don't want it done, but you know they don't know how to change it, how to stop it. And guys, people that work on those strip jobs will tell you they hate it, but they got to make a living. I mean, it's just that way. One operator over in Kentucky's got a $3 million home sitting down there in Harrogate, Tennessee. Comes up here every now and then and looks to see what his boys are doing, and right back down to Tennessee where he goes. And his home is is covered in old growth oak trees. All around that home he built is got trees down there that are probably 3 and 4 foot around the bottom of them, and big oak trees around his house and all this. And he comes up here in Kentucky and destroys everything around those people there. And goes back to his little house down in Harrogate, Tennessee, and lives a good life while people suffer.
Do you think it's fair?
Hell no, it ain't fair. It ain't. It's criminal, like I said before. What they're doing is criminal. And for people to make a living, for people to make millions of dollars off wasting this earth it's wrong. It ain't right. It's not mining. That's not mining. That's rape. It's just pure rape. That's not mining in any sense. I get angry driving from my house to town. I get mad, and it's stressful. It's caused me to have to take a lot more medicine than I normally take for this asthma. I've had asthma attacks that I actually had to go to the emergency room because of the air, and it's like I say, it's stressful, and it just eats on you all the time what they're doing, and the I guess hopelessness of it, or not being able to just stop it all at once. One of their supervisors down there, I shoveled mud off the highway below my house one day, called him up and told him he should have fired his inspector, the one that I called prior to him, and he came up and drove right through it and said he didn't have any problem with it. I was shoveling mud off the main highway, and kids driving, the kids in school buses are on that, and it's slick as snow, that mud is, when they put it out there, and they can enact laws. They can propose legislation through their agency to enact laws for better reclamation and such. They have a duty to the people, I think, to not only enforce what they have, but change what ain't right or what's wrong and what ain't working, to change it to make it right. They have a duty to do that, and they don't. I hate to leave them with that. I hate to die and leave my grandkids in this without trying to do something to stop it, or at least change it.